So these were standards developed interagency. So they're the State Department standards. Is that correct?
State Department leads OSPB.
And this resulted from the embassy bombing in Beirut, where 63 people were killed, 17 Americans.
Yes, sir.
And were the standards followed at the Benghazi facility?
Sir, we saw a memo which authorized the continuing opening of the Benghazi mission, which referred to it as the Special Mission Compound. In talking with people, and based on my experience, it was a purposeful effort to skirt the standards.
So the standards weren't followed?
No.
Now, my understanding is there's a waiver process that you have to follow if, in fact, you're going to deviate from the standards. Was the waiver process followed?
That was one of our recommendations, sir, and when you're not following the standards, you don't have to follow the waiver process either.
So they didn't follow the standards or the waiver?
Correct.
Mr. Kyle, what's your overall impression of the ARB report?
Mr. Sullivan and I testified before the House Oversight and Government Reform Committee. Ambassador Pickering referred to the ARB as being fiercely independent. In that same hearing, Admiral Mullen admitted to Oversight and Government Reform that he was reporting on ARB proceedings to the senior staff of the State Department outside of the precepts and requirements of being a member of the ARB. I don't think that fits anyone's definition of being fiercely independent.
So you don't think it was independent at all?
Not based on what was...
Frankly, I share your belief. I mean, when Secretary Clinton gets to appoint the co-chairs of the board, when Cheryl Mills calls them up and asks them to serve, when neither Secretary Clinton or Cheryl Mills are interviewed, when they get a draft report before it goes public, in essence, they get to edit the report before the rest of the world gets to see it. And as you point out, when Admiral Mullen told the committee, now think about this, he's been on the job a few days. As the co-chair of the supposedly independent ARB, been on the job a few days, he interviews Charlene Lamb, and he discovers that Charlene Lamb's going to, 2 days later, come in front of the Oversight Committee, and he realizes she's not going to be a good witness. What's he do? Just what you referenced, Mr. Kyle. He gets on the phone and calls the Chief of Staff to the Secretary of State and says, hey, Charlene Lamb's not going to be a good witness. She's not going to reflect well in the State Department. He gives a heads up to the very person he's supposed to be investigating. So, of course, this thing wasn't independent. I mean, think about, we asked Mr. Mullen, why do you care? Whether she's a good witness or a bad witness, your job is to get to the truth for the American people and for the families of those 4 individuals who lost their lives, not to give a heads up to the higher-ups at the State Department. So it was anything but independent. But there was one good thing that came out of the ARB, in my judgment. At least one good thing. They created the best practices panel that you and Mr. Sullivan sat on, right?
Yes.
And you guys made a whole bunch of recommendations.
Yes.
How many recommendations again?
40 recommendations.
40 recommendations, and some of them are more important than others. Is that right?
Yes.
And the most important one is which one?
The creation of an Undersecretary for Diplomatic Security. In fact, sir, in our executive summary, we said one clear and overarching recommendation. It's crucial to the successful and sustainable implementation of all of the recommendations in this report is the creation of an Undersecretary.
And is that the first recommendation you listed in your report?
Recommendation number 1.
So it's recommendation number 1. Most of the others hinge on the implementation of that recommendation.
Yes, sir.
It's designed to give accountability and responsibility to one particular person at the State Department. Is that correct?
To identify those who are...
Yeah, something Ms. Brooks
yes,
talked about in her Ms. Brooks talked about in her opening questions.
Yes, sir.
Designed to give accountability and responsibility to someone at the State Department. And is this the first time that this recommendation has been put forward, Mr. Kyle?
No, sir. Our panel, was a bit surprised to actually uncover a memo from now 15 years ago that Secretary of State Madeleine Albright had signed after the East African embassy bombings, ordering the creation of an Undersecretary for Diplomatic Security.
So we have the Overseas Security Policy Board created after Americans were killed in Beirut. So that wasn't followed. We have a recommendation from Madeleine Albright, the lady you protected, that says we need to create an Undersecretary after Americans were killed in the East African embassy bombings.
Yes, sir.
And that wasn't followed. I mean, has the State Department said they're going to implement this at all?
They said it's one of the recommendations they are not going to implement.
They're not going to implement.